All right. Hello, and I'm thrilled to be here. Sort of. I wanted to be in person, but virtual will work. I'm Pierson, president of Crowder College. And I've written a few words to share with you today that I think will help you understand where my expectations are, where my hopes and dreams are for the future of Crowder College. And I'd like to open by sharing with you a favorite quote. And it's by Theodore Roosevelt, probably the original Rough Rider. I came across this quote many years ago, and just as things would have it, I was trying to come up with inspiration for what would I say to you today. And just going through the computer, looking for an old speech. I was going to self-plagiarize, to be quite honest. And this popped up on a single document. It was the only thing on the document, was just this quote. And it's, do what you can with all you have, wherever you are. And I'm thrilled, as I said, to be joining the Crowder Rough Riders. And it's my promise that I will do what I can with all that I have, wherever I am, whether that's in McDonald County, Neosho, Tassville, Webb City, Joplin, Nevada, because together we are Crowder College. In my brief presentation, and I'm going to say brief, that's relative, it's about a 15-minute presentation for those who will be timing, and I know you're probably out there. I'd like to discuss doing all that we can with all that we have, wherever we are. And thinking about that, that's really servant leadership. But first, before we jump into that, let me give thanks and appreciation to the search committee for bringing my name forward and conducting the initial interview, and for the Crowder trustees, the board of trustees, for offering me the position and placing that responsibility with me. Their title says it all. They are the trustees, and their trust in me is profound. Your trust in me is profound, and it's something that I hold very dear and I don't take lightly. So I want you to know it's my personal mission to bring value to Crowder College and to make you proud to serve as your president. And make no mistake, I'm here to serve you, our students, the community, our alumni. It's what we do as being servant leaders, because we are about service. I've always heard about being a servant leader, and I believe it's in my nature to help others. And I wouldn't be here, and that's part of my thanks, I wouldn't be here for the help of others. Some very close friends, business acquaintances, even complete strangers have helped me. And because of them, because of the gifts they gave to me, I've been able to be very successful in my career, and I'm here today. So thank them. So back to, how can I bring value to this institution, these programs, your work? Well, I thought I understood what it meant to be a servant leader. I thought it'd be best to go to the source of servant leadership as it pertains to Crowder College. So I went to President Emeritus Dr. Kent Farnsworth, talked a little bit with him, but I read his book, Leadership as Service, A New Model for Higher Education in a New Century. And that was published by the American Council on Education, for those of you who'd like to read it. He opens his book with an appreciation for Jim Tatum, and he shares in his acknowledgments that he inherited much of the philosophy of servant leadership from Jim Tatum. I wish I'd had that opportunity to know him, but I've been blessed to meet his wife, Lynn. She was one of the very first people to welcome me to Crowder College, and she gifted me, along with Phyllis Chancellor and Gayla Baker, gifted me a book on McDonald County history, which I have enjoyed thoroughly. But their kindness was just the beginning. Many people have been giving me gifts. I have lovely plants for the office. beautiful Crowder scarf to wear, all kinds of Crowder gear because of the kindness of you. Thank you. That spirit is the essence of being a servant leader, and I'm sure all of you understand the philosophy. But bear with me. Please let me share with you my vision of our future together. And that future is rooted in the past. So let me begin with the 10 characteristics of being a servant leader. And they are listening, empathy, healing, self-awareness, persuasion, conceptualization, foresight, stewardship, commitment to the growth of others, and community building. The servant draws on those characteristics to shape the vision of the college. To create a vision for the college, we must remain focused on why we exist and stay true to our educational mission. We must also ensure that our shared vision considers the welfare of others, that we are continuously listening to others, especially our students and our community, to understand their needs. There's also in that the law of situation, and that means that anytime there's a situation or a problem, the solution for it is contained within it. And that, together, those people most affected are able to come to the table and find the solution because they are the most vested in it. And that's our essence of shared governance. It works for us. And so I'm looking forward to making sure that we continue the shared governance model as it aligns with servant leadership. Finally, Dr. Farnsworth concludes this book with the ultimate aspect of being a servant leader. Each of us here, each of us giving ourselves to education, and I'm going to quote him directly, must have the courage to aggressively present, pursue, provoke, and promote a public agenda that addresses the most important issues of our time and refuse to let the public ignore them. So what are, end quote, so what are the important issues of our time? What is our public agenda? In scanning higher education trends, we know the demographics have changed. That's facing us. We know we must adapt to that. We know the pandemic has altered the way we deliver education, and that's not going to go back to anything remotely normal. Well, indeed, we're having a virtual staff day. Many of you asked for it. You said it's more convenient, more efficient, and safer. Perhaps our students are thinking the same thing, and we've always got to listen to what those needs are. They want convenience, they want an education that's efficient, they want quality, and they want value. Another book that I'm reading, it's called The Great Upheaval, Higher Education's Past, Present, and Uncertain Future. It's by Arthur Levine and Scott Van Pelt, and it was published just a couple of months ago. And their research hints at the demands that would be made on colleges and universities post-pandemic. To survive the future, we have to really understand the changes that are coming. Colleges and universities tend to operate on a cost-plus model. That is, we determine our expenses and then set our prices. Expenses determine our revenue needs. If the state's not supplying the revenue, we raise our tuition. And that's actually the reverse of how we as individuals, maybe we as families, definitely not how other organizations do it. Typically, they look at what those expenses are and then determine, it's the reverse. They look at how much money they have and then determine their expenses. So we've got to think about that. In higher ed, rather than replace what already exists with something better, we tend to simply add those new and vital programs to what's already there. The which may be old and outdated programs, and that drives up our cost. Are we being good stewards of our resources? We've got to think about that. Is what we offer the same thing that's in demand? Levine's research on the changing demographics indicates that while there will be fewer traditional age students, these are the 18 to 22-year-olds, that have typically made up the bread and butter of most institutions, we're going to see a lot of older adults, and that may be true for Crowder College. Older adults are also likely to be women. They'll be attending part-time. They'll want to come to class when it's convenient for them. Otherwise, they may want online. These people will be working longer hours, and they're going to have off-campus responsibilities. Their jobs, of course, but also families, spouses, even aging parents. They also will tend to be from lower income backgrounds and require more support from us. The thing that I found most interesting in Levine and Van Pelt's research is they are going to want the same relationship from their college that they have with their bank, their supermarket, their internet provider. They're going to want convenience, service, quality product, and low cost. And are we offering convenient locations? Right now I think we are. Parking near classrooms, I think we have that. Courses offered at convenient times for them, something we'll look at. Do we provide excellent customer service in admissions, financial aid, the registration process? Are we delivering a valuable product with real-world faculty who are up to date in their fields, who are accessible to students? Are tuition and fees low? Is there a sensible pathway to completion? Many will not want, indeed, according to Levine and Van Pelt, many will refuse to pay for activities, services, even staff that they don't utilize. This could be gyms, student unions, theater, music events. I know that's hard to hear, but it's something that we're going to have to look at as the changing demographic has an impact on Crowder College. These are consumer-oriented, any place, anytime students. We're going to have to adapt. If they can't obtain it from Crowder College, they're going to seek a college that will deliver it. And there's a lot of colleges out there willing to offer it. There is a bright light for community colleges, in fact, in this research, this changing demographic. According to Levine and Van Pelt, the changing workforce is creating a demand for more digital literacy, information analytics, and global communication competencies. And those demands are showing a rising number of bachelor degree holders coming to community colleges to earn certificates or 1-year, 2-year program degrees in just those things. The market is shifting in traditional enrollment patterns, and community colleges will see the benefit. But we can't delay on how we implement these programs. The for-profit corporate college is already trying to meet that demand by partnering with 4-year institutions. These corporate colleges, that's a term I like to use. These are your Coursera, Udacity, and the like, pay-to-play, so to speak, credentials. We need to be in that market, and we can beat the price point. Make no mistake, we cannot be idle. We cannot believe that we've existed for centuries, higher ed in general, Crowder College for 60 years, and we will continue to do so without changing. We're going to have to change. Levine and Van Pelt used 3 examples, 3 industries, to show what the digital technology has done to music, film, and newspapers. There are far fewer players in any of those industries today. And it's magical thinking if we believe we won't share a similar fate. So you hear me saying throughout my presentation, we're going to adapt, we're going to be flexible, we're going to change. And our commitment to being servant leaders is our path forward. We will listen with the intention of understanding what the other person needs. We will pay attention to our students and make sure we recognize what they need from us. We're going to have that kind of empathy. We will view the world from their perspective. We will support the whole person, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We will know our strengths and limitations, and we will be aware of how we affect others. We will work to build consensus and use our power of persuasion rather than our position of power to make things happen. We will dream great dreams. We will dream great dreams and have the confidence that they will become reality because we've reviewed data, we've scrutinized evidence, and we're making informed predictions. We will also accept the consequences when we are right and be humble about it and be corrective when we are wrong. We will be responsible for the people and places in our charge, caring for them at all times. We will support one another and build that community, even in a digital environment, just as we're doing today. I circle back to where we began. Together, we will do all that we can with all that we have, wherever we are. Thank you, Rough Riders, for your dedication to Crowder College. Let's have a great spring semester. I look forward to having more conversations, whether virtually, by Zoom, Teams, maybe even in person. But let's have more conversation and let's see what our future truly holds. Thank you. Have a great spring semester.